wrong with the world today because we could try to have so many religions, so many doctrines. It is one God and one heaven. He just made a plan for us. And the plan was to use his son, which is himself. There was nobody else up in heaven but God. And if you look in the book of Genesis, in the beginning was God. There was nobody else. Everything was dark, deep. There was no water, no man, no nothing. Okay? But he had to do this for us. So it is one God. For people to think that there's many gods, there is many gods, but there's one divine God. And the plan of salvation, it was just a plan. Go ahead.
Okay, so if it was dark and there was no man or no nothing, then how did Mary come about then?
Because God said, at that time, before Mary came about, God said, let there be man.
Okay, so Mary was after he...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then he made mankind. And then Adam and Eve sinned. They got kicked out of the garden, and they had children, and then human beings started to be created. Some people say that they were humans before then. I don't know. But I understand that Adam and Eve was our first. And then after that, there came children. Cain and Abel and all these other kids. And that's where mankind, from reading the Bible, from what I understand, started. So that's where they came from. So, wasn't it Mary came long after Adam and Eve's time. That's the way I understand
Okay,
it.
so God was doing heaven and earth and making the people, and then after that, that's when Jesus...
He came long after that. He came down. You know what the Bible says? He came down 42 generations. So can you imagine grandma, grandpa, all the people
great grandma, great
grandmothers, all those people. He came to a line of a whole bunch of different people before he came. So that was Mary's line. He came down a whole bunch of different people, Rahab and all those different kind of people. He came to a whole bunch of genealogy. So that's why they say he came down 42 generations before God decided that he wanted to put his spirit into Mary. And then, of course, Mary had grandmas and grandpas before her time, but it started right from Adam and Eve. And it went right down because they had kids, their kids' kids, and their kids' and had kids and kids and kids, and they went down 42 generations.
But I know what she's going to have to do in order to understand like how it came about. She's going to have to get a Bible and read Genesis. And then you'll understand. It'll tell you in the beginning
of Genesis,
and then, and it'll tell you like how many days it took, and that he said, let there be light, and it was. And
I have read up to Noah's,
Noah and Ark.
He came through Noah's genealogy too.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to read like all of it.
Abraham and Isaac and all those people's genealogy he came through. I know you read about Abraham and Isaac and all those people. He came out of their lines, all of his family lines. That's why they say, and there's somewhere in the book of Matthew, I think it tells you all the different